Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Yeah, hello there.
Look at that storm out there. It keeps opening up those doors. This was in Pensacola Beach.
And those doors are very powerful too. And look at that. Wow.
Man, that's a heck of a storm. Can you imagine being out there in that? It would sure get you clean quick.
Yes, indeed it would. There's a morbid thing about me where I do like the storms. I just don't want to see anybody get hurt.
Well, I don't know. I remember a certain person when I was saying, "Hey, honey, come outside. I think there's a tornado forming over our head." And she was just shaking her head.
Okay, I'm busted.
And here we are in a 3,000-pound camper that could go flying.
Well, we would go hop in the truck.
Yeah, that's maybe 5,500 pounds. Yeah. So it's a little bit sturdier.
Yeah.
So we have a historic Category 3 tropical cyclone, Saroja, batters Western Australia, causing widespread damage. The perfect storm that is enveloping the planet just seems to be getting more perfect all the time as far as exactly how it's hitting everywhere. And it seems to be really damaging a lot of crops, as we're going to be seeing.
Yeah, it's interesting how it's strangely pinpointing stuff that would be vulnerable to human existence.
Well, maybe we need some angels to come down and play their harps.
Yeah.
And rectify things for us.
I'm sure they would.
Because it seems like there may be some harp playing going on, but I don't think it's the angelic kind.
No, I think you're right on that one.
Yeah, so wind gusts up to 106 miles an hour, 20,000 homes without power. Strongest wind gusts in this area since 1956. And you have meteorologists saying things like, we've never seen this before. You get a lot of that now. We really, really do get a lot of that. And so I'll give you guys the links so you can check out the videos. As you know, we don't do the videos because I did get a copyright strike at the other channel for that before, actually a couple of them. So you just don't know which ones are going to be a problem or not. We are in a small town and half of it has been flattened. And that's what we're seeing, whether it's tornadoes. I mean, think back to Hurricane Michael. When you looked at that devastation, it brought back like Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Mm-hmm. It really did, yeah.
And we have early season snow also blasting Australia. Worst frost in decades. I think we said that we were going to probably see that just when crops got in the ground. You're probably going to see some frost come down and just do amazing damage with the polar vortex. And dropping on down through the area, ravages Europe with agricultural disaster declared in France. Rare snow, record cold hitting the UK. As you see this historic freeze over here, it wreaks havoc on the majority of this year's fruit harvest. So what do you know about that? I mean, these coincidences just keep happening.
They sure do. That's really, really sad.
Fruit growers and winemakers in France have reported that the majority of their harvest this year has been lost to the significant cold snap that spread through parts of Europe Wednesday, April 7th to Friday, April 9th. Many industry experts believe the frost damage might be the worst since the 90s. Yes, this is what we're seeing. It's just shades of Texas. And we actually have the Songhua River freezing over in April in China. Now, that doesn't usually happen. But, hey, there's so much going on that doesn't usually happen. But, again, it seems post-eclipse 2017, just about anything could happen now.
It really can. And that's just too bad. Things are so strange.
Yes, and this is out of Strange Sounds. Ah. The chances of powerful geomagnetic storms have just doubled. Say what? Well, yeah, they found a new study out that says basically you're going to get some major storms every 4 sun cycles. And, that's basically 44 years, roughly. You're going to get some major geomagnetic storms. And there's been so much partially unveiled about mud floods and things like that. And I've run the numbers of the population of the globe, and when I've looked at it, they just don't fit with how the population exploded, and then they'll say, well, that's the Industrial Revolution and this and that. And that's why we have such a population explosion. But is there something else there, Because I do think that if we look to some clues from, say, going back to, biblical times, going back, 2,000-3,000 years, there's some evidences that the population was much higher then than perhaps it was 100 years ago. What? Really? You got to wonder. I mean, there's cities that they found buried deep in the Amazon under trees and forest that house tons of people. We really don't know the picture, and it's been a very, very obfuscated one, so to speak.
Slightly.
Yes, it's very murky. So yeah, a new study shows that these major, powerful geomagnetic storms, they happen, maybe twice as often as we had thought. There's a lot of things that don't add up in science, and it's constantly being rewritten. And, I'm just going to say there was a lightning incident that killed 68 goats, and you could read the language that they're saying there. And a farmer was walking with a big herd. Boom, boom, like out of the blue, 2 big lightning strikes. He walks back and sees, wow, he's got 68 goats in his flock or herd that are dead, and they just came out of nowhere. I don't know. Are the gods, in parentheses, guys, angry?
I know, that's a really sad one.
It is. Surprising bangs. Farmer looked in the direction of his 300 goats, only 100 meters from him. And he noticed that some of them were walking abnormally, decided to check if everything was okay, and then saw that. There have been so many blows to the food chain. It's just incredible.
It is. That's sad.
So Asteroid 2021 GW4 is going to pass by at 0.07, a lunar distance. That is close, guys. That's a close one. And so this is the 40th since the start of the year and 7th so far this month to do so. And so, this one's not too big. It's basically under 30 feet in diameter. So it might put on a nice little show if it does make it into the atmosphere.
It could.
And we got some new drone videos of the volcanic eruption that's ongoing in Iceland, as you have a 4th fissure opening up. Cindy does so good pronouncing this word. She's looking at me like, no!
Okay, Fagerstaskafall.
Yes, there you go. That was absolute perfect Icelandic.
Yes, thank you.
The crowd roars for Cindy. Yay! I'm not brave enough to say those Icelandic words. They are the most intimidating ones as far as language goes. Look at those photos, too, and look at all the people checking it out. There'll always be people that are just drawn to disasters to go check them out firsthand.
Yeah, they are. People are weird that way.
So says the man that once drove a Jeep on a flooded beach in the middle of a nor'easter that brought on 24 inches of snow.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I just had to. So, largest recorded small-toothed sawfish washes up dead in Florida. And I said to Cindy, this is the largest recorded ever, 16-foot female, softball-sized eggs in her reproductive tract. Aren't these the ones that portend big quakes? That's what immediately came to mind as you see it.
No, I have seen that and heard of it, too.
I remember seeing that. I think we've talked about that several times, because I keep thinking about Japan, that they've had some of these end up, there on the beach, and next thing you know, boom, there's a big one. So if this is off the Florida Keys, well, Puerto Rico's been swarming forever. I wonder if there's something major coming in the Caribbean.
It could be.
It really could. It really, really could be. And by the way, enormous chunks of an alien planet are buried deep in the earth.
Go figure.
Yeah. Thea. That's what they're calling it anyway. Buried deep in the earth. Now, this goes back to 4.5 billion years ago. So, no, they're not saying it was the famous Tiamat, or no, they're not saying that had anything to do with Nibiru. But they also are they're timing it with the timing of when we are told the Earth came about.
Mm-hmm. Which is curious.
So they're calling it a protoplanet that did not officially develop, but basically lies inside parts of the Earth right now.
Interesting.
And NASA's InSight lander detects 2 strong quakes on Mars. I mean, now that's all we're finding. Mars is having earthquakes every day now, it seems.
Yeah, they are. Go figure.
3.3 and 3.1. Same location where they had other ones of 3.6 and 3.5. But really, they were just feeding the reptilians too much chili.
Uh-oh.
That's really what's going on there. You know, the Draco, when they have gas, it can be a pretty ugly thing.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
And deadly.
Mm-hmm.
So, by the way, mysterious rainbow on Mars? What? Wait a minute. To have a rainbow, wouldn't you have to have a lot of water in the atmosphere? No, don't worry. It's just a lens flare is what they were saying.
Yeah, of course it is. Nothing to see here. Go back to sleep.
Yes, it's just swamp gas from Uranus.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The cover-ups continue, guys. Thanks for your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon. Make sure that you are subscribed so you hopefully get some notifications. And Cindy's going to give us a ding.
God bless and namaste.
God bless. Namaste, guys.